Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody had a good New Year's. Today we will be knitting. Show you an update of where I'm at on my socks so far. So, as you can see, I got pretty far. I am almost done with the cuff part. I decided I'm going to do 4 inches of the cuff and then do the picot bind off. So got a ways to go, but eventually it'll look something like that. It's just a 2x2 rib. Let's see, how long is it right now? So, yep. So I just got about another inch to go. Excuse me. And then I will be doing the bind off. So just to show you how I'm doing that, the 2x2 rib with the magic loop is, got both socks on, get ready to start knitting, pull the one needle through and just do 2 knit and then 2 purl and do that all the way across. And 2 knit, 2 purl, just keep alternating across. Really warm in here today, so my hands are a little sticky, sweaty, ewy, gross, but so it's not flowing as smoothly as the yarn goes through the fingers, but it's either that or I'm having a hot flash and getting old really sucks. But anyways, moving on. That sock on that side is done. Do this one. Again, just keep going across. I've been working more on the socks than on the sweater lately because I kind of want to get the socks done so then I can just concentrate on the sweater. I'll show you my progress of that in a minute. Just going to do this one round. I like doing 2 socks at a time because then they're both done when you're done. You don't have that, what they call the second sock syndrome, the SSS. A lot of times people will knit 1 sock and then they take forever to finish the second one, so they always end up with just a lot of single socks. I do both at the same time and then they're both done. And I like doing 2 up because that way you can knit the leg part as long as you want for as long as you have yarn for. That way if you're running short on yarn, you don't know, you can at least get the foot part done. And then just bind off for the ankle part and make little anklets. Okay, so that part's done. Flip it around. needle through. And do it again. I like doing magic loop versus double points. I don't know, something about it. I just like it better. Everyone has their own preference. A lot of people, you know, if you like doing double points, do double points. I mean, it's just a matter of preference. Okay, almost done with this one. There we go. And then do the next one. Knit 2, purl 2. I'm not saying I'm an expert knitter, but if there's any beginners out there who would like to see something in particular and I know how to do it or can figure it out, I will try to do my best. I'm not a big fan of color work just because I know I'm not good at it, and maybe if I practiced more I might get better at it, but coming to the end. And purl 2. Oops. Alright. Now I always like to untwirl my yarn so they don't get twisted. Pull it through and I'll be done with that one for now. So for the sweater, again, that's the sweater we're making, or I'm making. I'm trying to write up the pattern and doing a test knit to make sure the pattern's going okay. Don't need my swatch. Okay, so this is as far as I got so far. So this is the collar, or the neck opening. I'll be adding a hood to it later. I was going to do that last. Just pick up the stitches and knit the hood. So far I've got about seven of the increases. I need to do 39, so I got about 7. So this would be like the shoulder area, the front, shoulder, the back, shoulder, and then the front. So I'm working, it's a sweater that's knit top down, so this is the top part. and I'm going down, so it's going to get bigger as I go. And the yarn I'm using is Swish worsted weight. It's a number 4. It's machine wash and tumble dry. And I like it because it's stiff but it's soft. So when I get to the ribbing part of the waist and the sleeves, it'll hold the ribbing real nice. But yet it's still soft and snuggly to wear. Wow, I'm doing good today. So just knit around. It's just the same 2 rows. I'm on the increase row right now, so we'll do an increase row, and then there'll be just a knit all the way around. So knit to 1 before the marker, and then increase. Knit in the back, and then that same stitch, knit in the front, pull it off, slip the marker, and then this one, same thing, knit in the back, knit in the front, and then knit to the next marker. There, is that better? Maybe that's better angle to see. And like I've said before, since I'm knitting in around, to get the stocking knit pattern here, where it's just like this on that side with the V's, and that on the other side, it's called stocking knit. When you're knitting in around, you knit every row. If you want garter stitch, then you would have to knit and then purl the next row. So knit 1 row and purl 1 row. And it's just the opposite if you're knitting flat, not in the round. It's just kind of the magic of doing it in the round, where it automatically does the stocking knit for you. Whereas if you knit flat, you'd have to knit 1 row and purl back. But if you want garter, then you just knit every row. So it's the opposite when you're in the round. It's kind of neat how that works out. Knit, increase 1. There we go. And knit in the back. Knit in the front. And then just keep knitting to the next shoulder marker. Okay. Coming to the other shoulder soon. We'll do some more increases. back, knit in the front, oops, put the marker back on, knit in the back, knit in the front, and go on through, finish the round. Oh wait, nope, I got one more increase to the other side of the shoulder. Okay, and knit in the back, knit in the front, slip the marker, knit in the back, knit in the front, and now we can finish the round. And then do a round of just knitting all the way around. Okay, that round's done. Now just knit around. Yay! I like to do this while I watch TV because I can do it without having to look at it too much. The markers remind me when something's coming up to make a change. And the yarn and needles are big enough where I can feel where the stitch is. So I know how I'm knitting. Those are the two that we did in the same stitch. Hello. Hi, Messy Threads. Okay. This is a sweater of a pattern that I'm in the process of writing. I'm just kind of test knitting what I got so far and making adjustments as I go. This is the sweater I'm making. It's basically ribbed from the elbow up and from like underneath the bust line down for the waist to be more, so it's kind of poofy up at the top part, kind of emphasize the bust area, and then ribbing around the waist to give it more of a slim lining. And I just like the extra length in the sleeves and the ribbing. I just think it's kind of, I just like the style. And for decoration is going to be a hood that I'll add on at the end, just to, I don't know, I just thought it was kind of a neat style, and my daughter liked it, as she's modeling the brown one I made her when I first created it. So I decided to make a green one as I test knit my pattern to make sure that it's making sense. And my cat just opened the door. Hi, Coco. Okay, give me 1 second. Right back. Just gonna want to close the door a little bit. There we go. Okay. Well, hi, Coco. You gonna come up here and say hi to everybody? This is the first sweater I've ever tried to actually write on my own. Thank you, Coco. You just threw the pattern on the floor. That's helpful. Okay. Yeah, it's the first one I've done as a sweater, and we'll see how it goes, because you have to do multiple sizes, so I basically wrote it up in a spreadsheet so it could calculate the sizes for me. Now I just gotta check and make sure that the sizes are correct, like the number of stitches to cast on and things like that. So I need to test knit a couple different sizes. Or maybe if I get lucky enough, I can find some people to test knit it for me. That would be nice. Because as long as they get the same gauge, it doesn't really matter which yarn they use, I guess. I mean, they don't have to use, I'm using Knit Picks because that's where I'll be hoping to host my pattern on, there and on Ravelry. College class for that instead of trial and error. Yes, that would be nice if there was a class on how to write. I think, is it Craftsy, I think, had a class where on how to write patterns, but is Craftsy still around? I'm not sure if they are or not. I used to have a class, I think, but I never actually watched it yet. But I know that they went from Craftsy to Blueprints or something like that, then to, I think they're back at Craftsy again, but I don't know, I got so confused on that. I got mine from a book on how to knit sweaters, not how to write patterns, but how to knit sweaters. It talked about how to do your own, come up with your own calculations and stuff, so I just kind of took that information and put it in a spreadsheet. It made sense to me. I'm doing it that way. Everybody has their own way of doing that, and I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I do have a few other patterns out there on Ravelry and a couple on Knit Picks. A scarf, some fingerless mitts, some petty socks, that type of stuff. Um, my Ravelry ID is KnitterGirl39, in case you wanted to check out some of the projects that I have out there. I gotta update it a little bit more often and be better at doing that. What's your favorite kind of project to knit? Well, since I do a lot of it while watching TV, the more mindless it is, it's more convenient, but I don't mind some challenging ones here and there just because I like being challenged. I've done a couple shawls. I like doing socks. They just take a while for some reason for me. I don't know why. I've done hats. I've done scarves. I've done a few sweaters. I've made Megan Swanson's. I think I have her DVD here. Yes. The Spiral Yoke by Meg Swanson. Elizabeth Zimmerman's daughter. So I made a blue one like this. Not the colored two-tone, but I just did it where it's the traveling stitch, where it's more textured. I don't know if you could see that. It's more textured there instead of using colors. I've done a blue one and a brown one like that. What's your favorite kind of project to knit? Okay, coming up to finish this round, and I need to make a tick mark to show that I made the increase round done. Okay. That should be 8. Gee, only 31 more to go. Thank you. My daughter likes it. She says it's comfortable and very warm. This yarn, let's see. It's a superwash merino wool, so it can go in the washer and dryer, which I really like about it. I'm not one to hand wash stuff, so it's going to be nice and soft, and it's kind of a spongy, squishy kind of yarn too. Maybe that's why they came up with the name of Swish. The blankets, lap throw blankets, because they're fun to give away. Yes, yes. Elizabeth Zimmerman has a knit flat baby sweater that you only end up sewing at the shoulders, and it's called a baby surprise jacket. And I like knitting that for people who I know are like having babies and stuff, because it's a quick knit. It's ingenious because it's with increases and decreases. You knit it flat and then you just fold it a certain way, and boom, you have 2 seams to do and add buttons and you're done. Yes, I'm doing an increase row. That's right. Okay. Just making sure I got it right. So, increase in the back. Knit as usual. Come on. There we go. And then knit to the next marker. Usually the blankets I tend to crochet those, then knit them. But I do have a few I knitted. I made a knitted throw, kind of like a sampler where each square was a different pattern. I did it as a knit along in-person group knitting years ago that I gave to my mom. It's on my Ravelry page and my projects. I also have in my projects of a hat, a slouchy kind of hat I made for my daughter from wool that I spun on my wheel, and then I knitted into a hat for her and gave it to her when she first went off to college. And now I didn't spin the wool, the yarn, but I knitted her a sweater now that she's back in college to finish her doctorate. So it's kind of like my thing to do for her. Okay. How long have you been knitting? Usually at night during the week while watching TV. If I'm not playing my online game, I'm usually knitting after work to kind of relax. It's how I relax. And I knit more so if I'm trying to finish off a gift for somebody to get it done in time. I'm usually streaming. I've started streaming I think in November, every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Wisconsin time, since I'm in Wisconsin. Alright. Yes, I did. Okay. Just making sure I remembered to do it on the other side. Okay. Now this one. And knit to the next marker. And then this round will be done. And then just knit around. Competitive spite? Really? My grandmother taught me when I was little to knit and crochet, and her sister taught me how to do needlepoint on plastic canvas, but it's been years since I've done a needlepoint, and I stopped knitting and crocheting for a while. And around 2000 I started teaching myself to do it again. And then I also taught myself how to spin. First on a spindle, and then it wasn't fast enough for me because, I needed that gratification, that instant gratification where I want to be able to do something with it right away. So then I got me a spinning wheel. Okay, back and front. And now finish the round. Dragged me into a class and she wasn't being a bit uppity with her apparent beginner still, whereas I was still learning cast on. So I got better than her at both knitting and crochet, so she had nothing to hold over me. Cute. Nice. That's awesome. Okay, so now I just knit around. My earlier videos I did show like how to do long tail cast on and the knit and purl stitch for beginners, but you've been doing this for 4 years, so I'm sure you're kind of past all that. Yes, yes. I have to keep my hands kind of busy too while I'm doing other things. Not a lot of people get that, or they get it, but they don't connect it with like knitting. I like to listen to books on tape, or audiobooks, or whatever you want to call them, because I like books, but while I'm sitting there reading it, I end up reading, like, say, for example, the same paragraph over and over again, because my mind starts to wander going, well, you could be doing this, you should be doing that, how dare you just sit there and read when you've got this stuff that needs to get done. Well, if I do audiobooks, oh wait, I'm doing another increase, ain't I? I just need to knit these. Shoot. Alright, unknit, or tink, which is knit spelled backwards. Okay. Alright. I was chatting away and not paying attention. Shame on me. Ah, come on. I was splitting the yarn there. Splitting it again, but let's do this. There we go. There. Just knit that one. A knitter's New Year's resolution. Kind of what I have every year. Try not to start too many projects without finishing other ones. Still learning. Just recently learned how to cable. Still need to practice. Yes, yes. I've done some cabling and it's beautiful work. And actually this type of yarn where it's kind of stiff like this is perfect for showing the different stitches and stuff in the cables. So yeah, my New Year's resolution would be to continue to try not to start anything new without finishing something. That's kind of why this week is more on knitting my socks so I can finish those than working on the sweater here. Do you have a New Year's resolution for knitting? Any goals that you want to like work on this type of stitch or something like that? All the yarn I currently own, never buying a single skein of yarn. Yeah, well, I would be here for years if I have a good stash of yarn. Put it that way. My family and friends tease me all the time that they don't need to go to the store to go shopping for yarn. They can just come over here and shop on my shelves. I'll have to take a picture sometime and post it out there somewhere. I do have a Discord channel. Maybe I'll post it in there and put a link into it sometime. I'm a little camera shy, so right now my camera stays with just my hands for the moment. I'm not confident in showing my picture. Sorry. But I could do a picture of the wall. Maybe at the end of the stream I'll adjust the camera. Of course, it's a mess in here. It's my craft room, gaming room, and when I work from home office. So it's kind of got everything in here. Ah, I wish I started a limit years ago. I'm beyond my limit. You know those they call them cubby type bookshelves where you can get those cloth baskets to put inside them and whatnot and everything. I have 4 of the 9 square cubby holes, 2 stacked up on each other, on framing my window in here. So 2 on each side of the window. Mostly yarn. I have a few other things in them, but mostly yarn. And I have more yarn in a closet that I don't show. I've been trying to use up the yarn that I have there first. Unless like this, where I needed to get a certain number of skeins that I didn't have here. When I did the brown one, I already had the yarn for. It's just I wanted to do another one, so I had to buy the yarn for it. Yeah, it's nice. I like having it out now. I finally, till I moved here and got the house here and set up the room, I didn't all my yarn was in bins, so I never knew what yarn I had, and I ended up buying a bunch of the stuff I already had. So having it out on the shelves is nice because then I get to see what I have. So when I'm looking at patterns, I can go, oh, well, I have that yarn here. I have it somewhat organized, not by necessarily by color, but more on the weight, like fingering weight versus DK versus worsted or bulky. Um, or if I have bought like kits where it comes with the pattern and the yarn, I have those in a certain spot too. Okay, this yarn round is done. Yes, I just like to go a little bit past so I know I'm in the next row. Mark that down. So that's 9. Let's see if I can do something real quick. There we go. Like I said, do not mind the room. It is a mess. I'm going to see if I can switch cameras. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry. There's a chat that got auto-modded. Hi, Kata. Well, I'm gonna allow it just because you corrected yourself. So, there. Yeah, typing's always fun. How are you doing? How was your Christmas and New Year's? My Christmas was really nice and quiet. It was just me and my sweetie. Um, no problem. No problem. Um, let's see. Just want to not miss any of the messages here. Let me go back up some. Okay, sound spacing. What do you do with your scrapyard? Okay. Like I said, I put it in a bin right now. I should probably create a Afghan or something, like a patchwork type of Afghan with all my scrap yarn. Oh, except for the mess, right? If you looked on the table in between the by the window there, in the middle there, I also have a Cricut, so I do Cricut stuff too, and I also sew. So on a side note, I'm in the process of making some masks. My daughter's roommate's mom, that sounds kind of long-winded, I made a mask for her to wear, and she asked if I had any more, like an Etsy site to sell some. So I got 4 of them already cut out. So these are what I'm making. They're inside out right now, but so this would be the outside, and that would be the inside of the mask. And then another butterfly one with pink on the inside. True. All craft rooms need to be messy, right? Is that that maybe that's a requirement? So this one's gonna be the outside of the mask, and then that would be the inside. I just fell in love with this material. It's so pretty. And then this one, because it's got little burgundy colors inside the flowers, so I'm doing a pink in the inside. Messy Threads. That is a cute name. And New Year's, well, I did stay up until midnight. I counted down, and then I went straight to bed. Because I just barely made it. But I did shout Jumanji at the end, right at midnight. Counted down and shouted Jumanji, so, hoping 2021 is going to be a good year this year. So this is an increase round. Okay, so I'm coming up to a marker. So increase. Okay, so knit in the back, knit in the front, slip the marker, the back, front, and then go to the next marker. Hoping you guys can see this okay. Thanks for messaging. It makes it a lot easier to actually talk to somebody than to be sitting here talking to myself. Feels so awkward. Thank you. Okay, good. And increase front or back and front, slip, increase, back and front. There we go. You guys can hear me okay, right? Just because I did get a webcam and I'm using the webcam's mic to do my voice, so just wanted to make sure everything is working okay. No! Your house flooded with water? Oh, I'm so sorry. Hopefully it didn't do too much damage. You didn't lose anything. Hope nothing got ruined. I always worry about the sound just because I think my second stream, I was going along and all of a sudden someone messaged me saying, I can hear you, I can see you fine, but I can't hear you. And I'm like, oh no. So now I tend to worry about it all the time. All wood stuff is starting to smell and rot. Oh no. I think you can get there's some spray that you can get. Well, you're in South Africa. I'm assuming you can still get it there too. For removing, in case there's any like mold or mold spores or mildew and stuff. You can spray that on there and let it soak it in and then wash it clean. If there's drywall, you might have to replace it. I'm glad you saved your PC. That would have been my first thing to think of too, electronics. Yeah, I would, if you can't find the stuff that's made for that, you might be able to do some type of a solution with, I'm guessing bleach and water, a diluted version of bleach and water. I think might help at least kill the mildew and stuff. Okay, I didn't know you. I didn't know you had kids, so yeah, having the kids safe is a good thing too. Mine are all grown up and out on their own now. Okay, increase. Keep drifting to one side. Alright, this will be the last set of increases, and then I do a knit round. So, increase, knit in the front, increase, and knit in the front. Alright, finish this round and then knit around. Actually, I finished it last weekend. I can go get it in a second and show you if you'd like. Let me just finish this round here. I think last weekend I did the bind off on stream. I will. Just let me finish this round here. I'm almost there. go. Okay. I'll be right back. 1 second. I'm going to just put my... Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. I went to go get stuff and had to help my sweetie with opening up his new game he got for Christmas. So, here's the scarf. As I showed before, this is the first half or side of it. And then we did the 1x1 ribbing. And then this is the other side. And we did all the slip stitching at the beginning of every row, so that way you have a nice bind off. And I did the ribbing around the back of the neck, so that way it's not too bulky back there, but yet enough to cover up the back of the neck. So, I apologize. I'm too camera shy. I'm not going to show it on me. I apologize. Maybe another time. I get a little more guts to show it. And this is the let's see. This is the book. I grabbed that too. This is the book that I basically got my measurements and stuff from to do my sweater that I'm working on right now. It's really a good book. I like it. Explains a lot. See, there's the hood that we'll be doing. So. So, there we go. In case you missed the beginning of the stream, here are my socks so far. I'm going to do a 4-inch cuff so I could fold it down and do a picot bind off so it's a little frilly at the bottom. But those are my socks that I'm working on. Almost done. Just about an inch to go yet. Oh, anytime. So I'll knit one more row, and then this set of increases will be done. Maybe I'll write up that scarf pattern as a free pattern and put it on my Ravelry patterns list. If you guys would be interested. Oh, cool. It just do it slowly. Take it one section at a time, whether that's if you're doing top down or toe up, 2 at a time, 1 at a time, or double pointed needles versus 2 cable needles versus magic loop. I use magic loop, 2 at a time, toe up. But everybody has their own preference on which way they like it better. And I would say try the different ways to see which works best for you. Everyone's opinions are different. And don't get too frustrated, and you'll do fine. I think I posted a link to my Discord channel on my Twitch info page. I believe it's there. I'll have to check after the stream to make sure it is. If you want to go there as you knit along, or if you want to post pictures of your projects, or I think, Kata, I think you added me in Ravelry as a friend. If you'd rather do it there, I'd like to see how your progress goes with your socks as you learn. And anything else you guys are working on. And if you like my stream, go ahead and hit the follow button, and it should let you know every time I'm online to see if you're available to watch. You should get a notification. Okay, I'll have to write it up this week, and then I'll get it out there on there. I'll put it in my Ravelry. To post a pattern that I got in a book on Ravelry. What do you mean by post a pattern? As in a project that you're working on with that pattern? Yes, you could choose the pattern you're using when you're working on a project and you're setting up a project. And then you take your pictures and you can add your pictures to that project. Is that what you were asking? I don't have my stream set up to show a screen, a page. I could see if I could try and figure it out. See if that's what you're meaning. Is it legal? Isn't it there copyright? You're not posting the actual pattern. You're posting a link to it. So you in Ravelry you find that pattern, If it's in a book, then you could say that you have the book in your library, and then you could find that pattern, and what it does is it links it to the pattern that they have on Ravelry, and they have a lot of them out there. Most chances the book that you have is out there. Does that make sense? Yeah, let me see. Let me finish this round, and then I'll see if I can pull up something to show. If it's a knitting magazine. So in your Ravelry page, you can do a new project, and it will actually ask you, it will walk you through it. You can name what your project is, like Socks for Mom or something like that, whatever you want to name it. And then it'll ask you the pattern, and then you can look through their list of patterns. You could search for the magazine, the book, and then you could do that. If it's your own pattern, you can just say my own pattern. I hope that helps. You can also say what size needles you're using, what yarn you're using. Okay, cool. Oh, they're doing great. One's camped out sleeping on top of the whole heating register in here, and the other one is out in the living room sleeping on top of the cable box. Otherwise, they're doing great. I was streaming trying to do the jumping puzzle in Guild Wars 2 for Winter's Day the other day, and Coco kept coming in here with her toy, wanting to play fetch. Adorable. Okay, so that's the end of that round. Alright, that's 10. So 29 more to go. Woohoo! Okay, let me see something. Now I'm kind of curious. Nope, not that. Let's see if I could do it this way. Let's see if I can open up my Ravelry page. Now I got my page up. Let's see if I can share it. Window capture. There. Let's see if I could do this. Can you guys see that okay? So if I was going to create another project, let's see, what do I want to make? Add a project. So we'll do knitting. Name my project Petty Socks. Let's see, my Petty Socks. Okay, I used a pattern name. Let's see if I could search. Why is it not searching? You should be able to search. Let's open up a new tab. My designs. There we go. Horseshoe Petty Socks. So that's what I want. Maybe I have to do the horseshoe first. Interesting. Oh, there we go. You just type it in and then it will do the search. Okay. So do that. Oh, I didn't want to go there. Choose this pattern. Okay. There. So it already puts the pattern in there for you. And that's not doing copyright. I don't want all that. And then you just fill in who you made it for. If it's you want to link to a specific Ravelry person that you know, you could type in your progress, when you started it. You can put as much information or as little information as you want. You can do your gauge. You can add project notes to it. Whatever you want to put in there. You can add photos. But no, there won't be copyright as long as you do the pattern name this way, or even just type it in there. If it's not in Ravelry, you could just still have the name of the pattern in there. You won't be actually putting the pattern in there. So, if that makes sense. So, I hope that helps. And take that off. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a day for knitting for right now. There's a weather front coming through, and my migraine is just getting a little worse. So I'll be on again next Sunday knitting, and maybe in between, or maybe even later today, I might be on doing some more of those snowflake jumping in Guild Wars 2 for the Winter's Day Festival. I'm determined I'm going to get across. I know I've done it before, and I will do it again. Oh, I will. I just got to take my medication, and it makes me pretty loopy, so that would be a real fun stream. Just saying. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks again for chatting with me and showing up and watching my stream. Appreciate it. See ya.